started. All right. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for joining us today here in the brand new podcast series called Two Idiots Talking About Art, co-hosted by me, myself, W.E. Naoto Skorick, as well, the other half, the better half, Rodney Thompson.
Hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello.
Yeah, so this is a brand new series. We are just starting. Again, the title may confuse a lot of people because what is this podcast really about? Two idiots talking about art. I don't know. I don't get it. What is it? So
I think it's it feels pretty straightforward. I think we're probably going to say some stupid stuff talking about art, mispronounce some names, and maybe get some history wrong. I would imagine.
Quite frequently, I would say.
Yeah, mostly most of the time. Yeah.
Yeah, we
you don't even worry about fact checking. We can already guarantee that that's not going to be. It's not going to be right.
Yes, I mean we do our own research, but we don't necessarily fact check ourselves, I guess.
That's correct. I'm too lazy for that.
There's no credibility in this show. Do not hold us accountable. No. Yeah, so the general concept of the show in itself is Rodney and myself here to just talk about anything related to art.
Yeah.
Whether it's history-based art reference, any controversial topic that's currently happening. Ideally, down the road, we would like to interview local artists to some famous artists that if we could get a hold of them. That's the dream of this podcast.
Yeah. Please like us. We're not weird.
It's a open topic, open conversation piece that Rodney and I, which we frequently do anyways, decided that we'll just make a show out of it in hopes that it will be something worthy for people to tune in and listen to.
Yeah, hopefully so. And if not, that's fine too, you know. No, it's not fine. Really, please listen to us.
Yeah, ideally it would be quality content. If that doesn't happen, we might just start making burps and fart noises and pass time.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be entertaining for us, to say the least. So
what's important, isn't it? For you and I to just have fun with this.
Yeah, we've been doing this for a while now, just doing Zoom drawing and painting sessions together. So we thought, let's let everybody else in on our stupidity. And, except we're not drawing and painting right now, which means we have to actually talk and connect, which is weird.
Yeah, which ideally we'll do that eventually. Mentioning that it is a podcast. It is here for audio purpose, platform. But we're also recording this with video feed to post it on YouTube. So you could either listen as podcast or watch it and listen to on YouTube, and we'll see what other platforms we could invade down the road. But currently, those are the two main applications people could access our podcast series with. And as I mentioned, hopefully down the road we'll use that in our advantage and do a little live sketch session, perhaps. I don't know, we toss a lot of ideas around, so
yeah, right now I think it's a lot of feeling it out to see where we're going to go. Art will be involved all the time, so we'll be talking about it, interviewing people about it, or or doing it, having a draw along with the audience maybe, or something. I don't know, we'll figure it out. We're working out the kinks,
because that's how every business idea starts, right? Like you have a very minimal concept, and then you just toss that out there and see what it snowballs into.
Yeah,
I think that's how everything is done. Nothing's fleshed out ever.
Yeah. Now we have a loose idea, but we're not going to pretend like we know what we're doing.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much what this podcast series is going to be about in a nutshell. That being said, this is episode 00. should have mentioned that earlier. The introduction one. So we thought we could use this opportunity to talk about ourselves so that the audience know who they're listening to. Yeah. Little interview piece, I would say.
Yeah, and we'll
About
try to
ourselves.
keep it short and sweet because we're pretty boring. Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
fingers crossed.
That's one thing the
3
audience
hours
should know
later.
about ourselves. Exactly. We could start on a subject and just end up in this
Yeah,
complete opposite end of the spectrum and be like, what were we talking about?
yeah. All of a sudden, we're talking about the Cowboy Bebop or something.
Yeah,
Or-
exactly. Exactly. All right. So for this episode, we have several questions that we have compiled between myself and Rodney. 4 questions that we just decided to ask, and then we came up with 3 of our individual questions, that a mystery question that we're going to be asking each other. So 10 questions total, in hopes that this will give a bit of an insight to who we are as a person slash hopefully as an artist.
Yeah. And also,
And
I would say if you don't feel like you have the perfect picture of us, send us a question. I would love to hear questions from anybody else about us. If you have one that we didn't think of, which we're not asking a whole lot, so you very well may have a lot.
yeah,
Or another
professionally,
question. Yeah, professionally, personally, whatever. We'd love
yeah.
to hear what you have to ask.
All right. So just to clarify, we have 10 questions total, 4 pre-decided, and 3 questions we've just chose on our own, and it's a mystery to the other person. And each question we'll both have to answer. All right, that's pretty much the gist of this next round of this episode. So why don't we get right to it? Oh, before we go on, I totally forgot to mention this, that for those out there who really don't know who we are both artists. We paint, we draw.
Well, I figured we'd get to that in the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I only had to bring that up because I don't know if I was going to say that or if there's a question that's related to that. So just to throw it out there.
Yeah.
For, credential purpose, like, why do we need to listen to these fools? Well, you don't have to, but if you want to know,
yeah,
we do that. Okay, so, who wants to go first as far as answering?
We'll switch back and forth.
Okay.
You ask and I'll go first this time.
Rochambeau?
Or you've got all the questions. Yeah. Well, Rochambeau. Okay.
Rochambeau. Okay. What was it on 3?
Yeah. So on 3. Okay, ready?
Rochambeau. Okay. 1, 2, 3. There's definitely a lag. All right, one more. 1, 2, 3.
Oh.
So you answer first. Okay. So question number 1. Tell us about yourselves.
Well, my name is Rodney Thompson. I'm a Leo. I like long walks on the beach. And I'm also an artist. I went to school with Naoto at the Academy of Art University. And from there, that's been a bazillion years ago. I have just continued to do fine art. I focus mainly in portraiture. And a lot of my work deals with mental health. So I paint portraits of people with their heads on fire, mostly like this one behind me, and which you'll see if you watch our YouTube channel. There you go.
Wheeling in.
Yeah,
right
I just got a little plug right there. But yeah, and I'm married. I have 2 dogs and a cat, and my wife is a lovely supportive partner, and she has been wonderful throughout my career, and she is also like my number 1 model aside from me doing a self-portrait. That's basically it. So yeah, I think that's about me in a nutshell, I would say.
Nice.
Now,
well,
you tell us about yourself.
Yes. My name is W.E. Naoto Skorick. People call me Naoto. To strangers, I tell them WE just because they seem to have an easier time pronouncing WE, although they'll most more frequently reply back by asking, "Oh, your name is Wee?" As in, like, no, I didn't spell out my name. I told you my name is WE. Anywho, I'm born in the States, up in Washington, but I grew up majority of my childhood in Tokyo, Japan. I am half Japanese. Moved to San Francisco for school, where I met Rodney Thompson. Initially went to school for film, then switched to computer animation, and after graduating, decided that I did not like computer animation and decided to follow my passion, which I didn't realize until then, which was fine art and illustration and all that stuff. So since then, I just been, while working part-time jobs or full-time jobs on the side, pursuing my art career and still pursuing onwards to till one day I make it as an established artist.
When you grow up,
And
like when you grow up, yeah.
when I grow up, yes, when I grow up to be an adult, whatever that might be. And I do like to walk in the beach with my sandals off. I do not have any pets, but if I did, I would like a corgi because I love corgis. And I'm not married, and I love to play video games a lot, as a matter of fact, to the point I actually do streaming of video games because I enjoy so much. And I like to read manga. So basically, I'm a nerd, as some people like to
Dork.
call it, a dork. Yeah, a fun dork at that. At least I would like to think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
Sure.
every year. Yeah, every year, my status switches between introvert and extrovert because I don't really know which it is. Can there be a perfect midway? Currently, I'm more introvert.
I feel like there could be a blend. I feel like I used to be a little in the middle, but I am the a super powered introvert at this point. This is my way of connecting with people. I mean, with you, it's different because I think you understand my introvertedness, but this is like this is a way I can reach out without actually
Yeah.
having to have physical contact, and I'm still hiding in my cave.
It's funny because I feel like the pandemic, if anything, was a trial run for people to decide whether they're an extrovert or
An
introvert.
introvert, yeah, that's
Those
where
that
you
actually
really
had a
get to know yourself a lot.
yeah,
and you're
those
like,
that enjoyed the pandemic, like not enjoyed the pandemic, but was okay with the situation that you had to live through.
yeah,
Those were definitely an interview. Myself, I'm like, yeah, I get to stay home and do all the things that I could never do because I don't have enough time.
yeah.
Hell yeah!
I
And
know,
then
I
you get the
was-
extrovert.
I had those moments too, and I'm like, this is kind of good. I don't have
Yeah.
to. Aside from all the obvious crap that was awful,
Yeah.
but there's also that moments of having just solitude and enjoying the peace and quiet of not dealing with.
Well, I guess it's unfair because for me personally, I had the part-time job which I worked throughout the pandemic. So
Yeah.
it wasn't like I wasn't seeing anybody. But while I was at work, the whole time I'm just thinking about how I could have just stayed home and not do any of this. No
Yeah.
offense. No offense to anybody. Sorry, boss. But yeah, because there's never enough time, and it felt like it was the moment where, oh my god, I could potentially have all the time in the world, and then it was, I wouldn't say it was robbed from me, but the opportunity surely passed.
Yeah.
I don't regret it. I'm glad that it worked out the way it did, but
Yeah.
there's a definite bitty little part of me that's like, ugh, but if I just stayed home and collected that said government assist and done everything I had in my book, how it would have been fantastic.
Yeah.
No, again, no offense to anybody.
Of course. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, that's me. And
It's nice to meet
for
you.
Viewers out there, call me whatever you want. We, Naoto, we, I don't care. Oh, also my pronoun is Naoto. So there you go.
We just invented that one too. I am also a Naoto.
Yeah, Ronnie is a Naoto, please. All right. Following question: what is your hobby?
Am I first again, or are you first this time? Or did
guess
I
it's
just
me,
lose?
huh?
Yeah.
I guess we're going. Okay, we're
Yeah.
going back and forth. All right, so I guess my hobby, I already kind of mentioned it in my introduction, is playing video games and reading manga. It's a very sad hobby, depending on who you ask. I think it's a great one, but
Mine's
those
gonna be
two,
even worse.
and I do occasion. This is a new one. I haven't fully dove into it yet, but I was making a few shelves, just those tiny ones in the back. They're tiny little pieces, so easy to make, but I was having I was having loads of fun doing woodwork, even with the bare minimum equipment that I have.
Oh yeah.
So that is a potential hobby in the making. I really, really want to build all the furnitures in my studio, desks and shelves and all that stuff, handmade. Because oh god, when you finish a piece, it feels so good.
Yeah.
I was like
I
rubbing my hand across the thing,
yeah.
like oh.
I went on a kick of like every time I found a pallet, I'm like, I'm gonna make a furniture out of this.
Mm-hmm.
I made Brianna, my wife, I made her a desk that was a monster. It is
Mm-hmm.
so big and we
So heavy.
it's so heavy and it was like 14 pallets of wood and just
Oh
butchered and
wow.
chopped up. And it definitely looks homemade. Like she's so kind. She's like, I love it. It's so great. And
But it's
I'm
so
like,
nice, isn't it? The fact that you
yeah, I
built
was
that
super proud of
with
it.
your
I'll look
bare
back onto it and
hands.
I'm like, oh, well, I mean, now I've learned a lot about doing
Mm-hmm.
that stuff. And I've made like a table and like a bench out of pallets too. And I got a big
Mm-hmm.
kick with that kind of stuff. But
Although it's the worst time to have woodwork as part of your hobby just because of the outrageous pricing of old
oh
woods.
yeah, that's where pallets. You just drive at night and go steal them off the back of a. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm-hmm.
borrow them off
Right, right. I mean, this is not going to be
behind the grocery store.
this is not going to be broadcasted
No,
nationwide. No.
no,
Okay.
yeah,
Your turn.
okay, yeah. So used to be making furniture out of pallets. That was a hobby that I did, but now
Oops.
didn't have the space for that.
I forgot to mention one more hobby. Sorry.
Oh yes, go for it.
Sorry, play music.
Oh, playing music.
Yes.
Yes,
Not
that's an
listening to it.
obvious one. Oh my gosh,
Yeah,
yeah.
guitar, drums,
Duh.
whatever. I do like making music on the side. Like few bands I've been in my lifetime,
Yes.
and play guitar for one, play drums for one. Try to practice in the apartment. Apparently, the neighbors don't like it, so I can't
That's
do it
because they're
anymore.
selfish. They're
They are
selfish.
so
I mean,
selfish.
they're
How
just self-centered.
dare
They can't handle a little, a little bit of noise, a little sound. It's
it's an
gentle.
hour. Yeah,
It's therapeutic
it's
for
very
you.
therapeutic. It's like acupuncture to your ear, almost. Just stabby little
Yeah.
sensation that's supposed
Little
to
stabby,
heal
splintery
you.
woods.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's clearly a good thing. I just don't understand them. That's sad.
Yeah, just selfish people. So
Truly.
I haven't played drums in a while, but I still try to pluck the guitar away here and there. But okay, that's it. I swear.
Any more
Well,
hobbies? Are you sure? Go ahead. There's got to be
I
something else in there.
I may have few, but I don't necessarily want to mention on podcast now. No,
They're
that's
like,
it.
that's
That's
between me and my bathroom.
it. In your words.
Okay.
So,
All right. So
your
my
turn.
turn. What do I do? Oh, even probably dorkier and old manier than yours. I like to garden with succulents.
That is
So I garden with like jades and cactus and cacti
nice.
and yeah, all sorts of different succulents and stuff. So
That's awesome. I didn't know
yeah,
that actually.
yeah, I've got a bunch that I've been growing for years, and uh, yeah, it's fun and it's easy because you just water them every so often and kind of let them do their thing. So
See,
that's
I would love to do
yeah,
that. Only every plant that I ever owned just died.
yeah.
I thought I was doing them a favor
I
by
remember
not.
the money tree incident
Oh
that
my god.
you brutally murdered.
I I did exactly what I was told to do. I moved it from a pot to a different pot, and sure enough, that apparently was too much.
Yeah, it's a selfish money tree.
It was a selfish money tree. Although I've been warned that money trees are really hard to maintain.
They're actually not.
Are they not? Oh,
No.
okay.
You have to like you have to try pretty hard to kill them. I think they're pretty easy.
Apparently, I tried really hard to murder
You just
my
gotta. I
money
mean,
tree.
they're pretty. We've got one. It's pretty simple to. We just water it occasionally, and it's good.
They are
It's gotten
beautiful.
huge. So
They are a beautiful, beautiful plant.
yeah, no, they're awesome. We love ours.
Mhm.
It's great.
I would love to keep them again, but yeah, I'm just so scared. I think it doesn't matter. Go on.
Okay.
Any other hobby?
Any other
Is it-
hobbies? I read some graphic novels here and there.
Nice.
I play a little bit of music, although I haven't touched my guitar in a while, so
Amazing
that's kind of
musician,
loosely
by the way.
counts. Oh well, thank you. I appreciate that. Liar. um, yeah, that's about it. Other than that, I'm just painting and hanging out with the wifey.
Nice.
So, yeah,
That's a good hobby. To hang out with your wife.
yeah, that's my hobby.
I
Do it
got a
on the
little spare time
weekends.
to do
Yeah.
my little hobby. Hey, wife, do you want to go for a walk? Okay. Question number 3. What mediums do you use for art? Pretty straightforward.
Pretty straightforward. Yeah, I use oil and charcoal and graphite. Those are all separate. But yeah, those are my main 3, and it's very rare if I venture out from that. And I couldn't tell you the last time. I think maybe when I had a mixed media class in college, that was about the last time I did it. And
Ooh.
any excuse I could find to avoid doing that in the mixed media class, I'd be like, I'm going to use charcoal and oil again. And they're like, you did that last week. I'm like, but not this way. I didn't do it this way. But yeah, so no, just oil painting. That's been the one that I've been doing the most of lately, and just focusing a lot on that.
Nice.
I go through waves too. I'll do a lot of oil, or I'll do a lot of charcoal, and it just kind of depends on what mood I'm in or what's inspiring me. So yeah.
Can I add a second part to that question?
Shoot.
I just figured it would be interesting to add this. What other medium would you like to try next if you had the time to?
Oh, if I had the time to? That is a good question. I have always wanted to learn how to weld. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah.
That would be the one, probably. That or screen printing. I've always wanted to do that, and I've actually never done that. So,
cool.
Yeah. But mostly, probably welding. That would be
Welding.
cool.
Welding would be awesome.
That would be actually terrible for me, too, because I would have so much scrap. Like, when I was working with pallets, I just had a mountain of pallets in our garage, and it took up so much space. So I'd probably have, like, all this scrap metal all over the place, and many half-ass projects.
What's that one artist? I can't remember if it's in LA or Palm Springs, but that one guy who has like this hilltop just covered in paintings and just collected artworks, and it's got the word like God bless or something written really large in the front.
But I don't know.
Yeah, it's just a collection of, or I think it was different artists. There's like a couple of people that has a similar scrap build architect almost. It's just basically a collection of hoarded stuff just bundled up into one thing. No, I'm thinking of somebody else. The LA guy is a painting of this hilltop, but then there's other guys who basically just build this huge living quarter out of scrap metals and whatnot, just welded together, just placed in the right position. That's imagining that's what it would look like if you started.
That's essentially what it would look like.
Just everywhere you can. There's random Tim Burton
like,
stuff.
I'm gonna build a second story on my house.
So me, choice of medium or mediums that I use, pretty much the same as Rodney. Oil. Lately, it's been ink and charcoal mainly. So ink, charcoal, and oil is my usual to go to. And as far as another medium I would like to do, it's funny, I was going to say screen printing, but God, welding does sound really fun.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's like the destructive property of it too, because I mean it's fire, so you can like,
I think it's that. Ooh, Actually, for me, screen printing or glass making.
Oh yeah.
I have a friend, Mike, who does glass making professionally, and oh, the way he explains it and all the videos I've seen just looks so fun.
Oh my god, I am so opposite of that. I watched somebody make glass one time, and
Mm.
like the whole process with their kiln that they have to have, and like keeping
Oh,
it heated, and it's like so expensive. Like I thought, like buying oils and stuff was ridiculous. Like that's a pricey
yeah, for sure.
trade for sure. Art, and it's such a tedious one too. And
And
I'm like, oh god, I do not want to do glass ever.
and not to mention, I am really clumsy, so I will most definitely hurt myself in the process. Welding too,
Oh
actually.
yeah, yeah. I would
Actually,
imagine I'd be like a shop teacher where you're missing a thumb or a
it
ring finger. That would
you're really
probably
like
be me. Like I'm wearing an eye
Mr.
patch.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mr. Peterson,
yeah,
my thumb came up, just holding it. I was like, oh my god.
yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I severed my left foot off my leg. Like, how did you manage to do that? What were you doing? Yeah, I think the most practical one would be screen printing.
Yeah,
I would love to do that
that
for
is truly
sure.
the most practical. Yeah.
I still will plan on doing it, to be honest. Okay, question number 4. Who are your current top 3 visual artists?
I think you're up next.
It's me, ain't it? Okay, so my top 3 current favorite is Alan Williams.
Mm.
I love his work, and he's definitely one of those guys on social media that I pretty constantly follow and watch his live videos, which he does every Friday, I think.
Yeah.
It's just so fun. And after you shared me the podcast with Dark Art Society and listen to that, getting more of an insight on his step by step and his process, it's just mind blowing the way his brain works, how his art comes out. It's just
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah, I really like that episode with Chet Zar.
Mm-hmm.
That was a good one to listen to because I loved his work already, and I
Mm-hmm.
like just fell in love with it all over again
Absolutely.
after
All
listening to
his
that.
prints to his original works, it's mind blowing.
Yeah.
What's the original artist that designed Xenomorph and all that? It starts with a G. I always forget his
Oh,
name.
H.R. Geiger.
Geiger. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Alan Williams is the modern day Geiger. Geiger.
Geiger. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm
I think it's
I
Geiger.
would.
This
think
is
so.
where you find out you're listening to two idiots because we're like, Geiger? Get
Geiger.
uh,
Yeah. You mean
her Geiger?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of similarities work, and I would assume he's got a lot of inspiration from his work as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I feel like you could see that in his work.
A lot of things, especially when he works on his creatures, especially like the rib cage or like the seam between like his arm, like the bone
Yeah.
side to the meat. Like it's just very telltale.
It's
Giger,
really
and
really
it's so
incredible to watch. Like
good.
just the way he described it too on that podcast,
Mm.
which I like how we're like, stop listening to ours and go listen to that podcast.
Yeah, what are you wasting your time
Yeah, don't
listening to this
go
little
listen to that
intro?
But yeah, no, he the way he described like how he just works with the like this organic I don't even know how he said it exactly, but an organic
What's crazy that
process
he
of
doesn't.
creating, but developing an image. Like it doesn't seem like he has a direct
Yeah,
idea to get to the end, but he just
he doesn't
really
draft. He goes
fluidly
straight
moves
into it.
through. Yeah, it's really incredible.
He's building as he works the piece. Again, it's so
Yeah.
cool. All right, second artist. Gotta say, and holy crap, if I butcher this name, which I probably am, I can't quite remember how to pronounce it. David Kassan?
Cousin? There we go.
Ka-
Two idiots.
Ka-
You'll find us
Sorry.
on Instagram. Two idiots
Sorry,
and dark.
David.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Kassan.
Okay.
David. Just go David. David
Yeah.
Kassan.
David K.
David K. Yeah, I would say he's my top 2. Mainly because his work is incredible. I love the series that he's been working on lately with the Holocaust survivors.
Yeah, I love those.
He is so passionate about it, and boy, the oil paint's amazing. But I initially fell in love with his work through his charcoal work. which I actually took a workshop class with him, met him in person, and just one of the nicest guy. And his method of working is incredible, which I've been trying to practice and trying to turn that into something of my own style. It's hard, but the way things turn out is amazing. If you're not familiar, I highly recommend checking his workout. And then number 3 is most people probably won't know who this is. He is a Japanese manga slash Japanese comic book artist called Araki Hirohiko. You may have heard the title of the manga he's worked on because it's pretty popular on Netflix right now, called JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Oh,
You may have seen it. Newest one came out December. I haven't watched it yet. I'm so excited to
I saw
see
that. I
it.
didn't watch it.
He out of all the manga artists, he has a quality that's closer to that of like a fine art style.
Oh, interesting.
Especially if you follow from the day he started, which is like in the early 80s, and still continue on to now. He has transformed his work so much that it's almost a completely different style. But I think roughly in the mid 90s, he kind of landed on something that is his own work, and he's been pursuing since then, and it's just amazing. And all the cover art that he does for any of his, whether single release books or the cover on the weekly comics, he uses live, like actual model pictures, like pictures of models.
Like he
And
works from
usually,
like a real reference.
real reference. And so it's always like, and he has this weird way of portraying characters in a weird stance. So you might have heard, or if you just even Google it, JoJo stance, they'll show up. There's a bunch of people just like standing in a really weird way, like this or like that. So all his characters are always standing or posed in a really weird, obscure way.
You're gonna have to, everybody out there, you're gonna have to watch our YouTube so you can see Naoto do these fantastic
Yeah,
poses.
I'm doing something. Yeah,
Well,
it
he's
looks like I'm trying
striking
to
a pose.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It looks like I'm playing the game Twister in the air. Anyways, his work is so inspiring, and I love it. And if you are not familiar with him, and if you actually like anime, I highly recommend checking it out.
You know what we'll do too is after this, I will make a post on Instagram,
Oh yeah,
on social
yeah.
media, just to, with all of these artists we've mentioned, just because they've been so inspirational to us. I think you guys might like to see them too if you haven't already. So
I think that's a fantastic idea. And I did say top 3, but I'm gonna add a top 4 as well. Number 4 being Rodney Thompson. Sorry, did I pronounce that correctly? No, I believe it's pronounced Rodney Thompson.
It's Thompson.
It's Rodney Thompson.
Yeah, Thompson.
Thompson. I won't get in too deep with him, but if you're not familiar, I highly recommend checking it out. And that is my top 3/4. Yeah, of course. You are indeed one of my favorite artists, so
I appreciate you, sir.
But sorry,
you're a gentleman and a scholar.
You did not cut the top 3. I do apologize for that.
You know what? I got mentioned. That's good. I'm on honorable mention. That's great.
All right, Rodney-san, your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to start off with Alan Williams as well. He is currently somebody that I've been really watching. And also, give Chet Sar's podcast a listen, Dark Art Society. And you can listen to that episode. And
wait, did you actually?
I actually wrote down Alan Williams. Yeah.
Oh, don't get it. That's crazy.
But it's great insight to his career and his work, and you'll find him on Instagram as well. And he, like you said, does those live videos on Fridays. You said, is that right? He does the live videos, his live feeds on Fridays.
Fridays, I believe.
Yeah,
yes.
So, yeah, go.
I don't know if it's a scheduled thing, but it's definitely on the weekends.
At some point, yeah,
Friday or Saturday.
I see him pop up all the time. I never pay attention exactly.
And
but
him and his wife's chemistry is just so fun to watch too. So
yeah.
I think she's an artist too.
Yeah, but just brilliant work, and just like what we said before, he like the organic process, these creatures that he comes up with, that it's fascinating to hear about, like how people can perceive them as being evil, I guess, from the perception that we're all given as we've grown up, and like something that doesn't look recognizable to us can be a little bit scary and evil. in a way, and he creates these things that are unknowing, like we just don't know who or what they are, and we don't recognize the structure of the creature, and he can, label them as a guardian and have them be more of a positive thing. I just love that, and I think he's a brilliant artist, and I recommend looking him up. And again, I'll post all these once we post the show.
Well, since we had 1-for-1 on as our top one artist, I'm sure we'll do an episode about Alan Williams.
Yeah, maybe if we're lucky enough, if we're not, seen too much as idiots, at least a little bit, to keep up our name. He would be a guest star here. That would be awesome.
I've actually played this scenario in my head. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no.
Us asking somebody to come on board to, as an interviewee. I was like playing that scenario in my head, like calling him up, and like say if it's Alan.
Yeah.
Hi, this is this Alan Williams' phone? Hi, I'm a huge fan. My name is Naoto Skorick. I'm here to promote. Actually, I'm here with a podcast that we would like you to come on board and do a little interview with us. Like, oh, interesting. What's the name of the podcast? Two idiots talking about art.
We just be like, that's not relevant at this time.
Just hang up.
We'll get to that. Let's schedule some time.
Yeah, don't worry about what the name is. No.
Yeah.
Okay,
names are meaningless. Yeah.
All right. Continue.
Okay, so another is Miles Johnston. He is a young guy. I think he's from the UK, and he does a lot of surreal work. And he's a brilliant artist. He does a lot of work in graphite. He does a little bit of painting too as well. He's done some tool posters. I think Alan Williams did tool posters too. Of like the recent tour. But Miles Johnston he's just an insane artist. I love like watching his brain, I guess, come into these drawings and his experience. Like they're so relatable, and you really get like a good sense of like human depth in them, and he really builds just a really beautiful picture of a way of looking at people without not our normal way, I guess. What I'm trying to say. See, I'm kind of rambling on right now, so we're kind of
it's okay.
What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing because the whole time I'm like, wow, that artist sounds so familiar. I forgot I have a poster.
Yeah. Who is that guy? He sounds amazing.
His work is amazing. You're right.
Yeah, he's incredible. I love his graphite drawings. They're so super detailed, and they're so surreal, and just brilliant concepts, and really tap into some deep humanness, I would say.
It's really cool stuff.
Yeah, it's great stuff. From there, another one would be Andrew Kadima. He's a really amazing artist that I believe he is a trained composer, and I may be wrong, but he does Andrew Kadima.
Is that K or C?
C.
C.
He does a lot of images, faces, like with multiple features. Like he'll just make a conglomerate of different faces. He just did one fairly recently. He asked all of his followers to send photos of their eyes and mouths and all, or like their features, and he compiled them all into a painting, and it's really incredible. And he's done it a few times, and it's really fascinating. And he'll do like a lot of his eyes like on one image, and it'll be kind of a loose, not like a face, but it's just like a mashup of features, and he's incredibly technically awesome. And he experiments in a way that's really amazing. Where he did a series where he painted 3D, and I think he was using 3D glasses to actually do the process, and kind of going back and forth, which I imagine that's got to be insanely hard with your eyes. But he did the 3D experiments. He's done multiple like color experiments, and it's just really, really fascinating work, and I can't recommend him enough.
The 3D experiment, you're talking about kind of like the 3D glass layer.
Yeah, like if you can look at it through three-dimensional, like the old-fashioned, not like the real like he uses the
Yeah. Is he the
the blue
first
and
one
red.
to start that trend? Because I've seen that style of
I've
artwork,
seen
not
it
by him.
before. I just think it's amazing how he's done it. Like I've seen some
Hmm.
graffiti artists do it, and or
Yeah,
street
that's
artists
cool
do it.
art.
Yeah.
Also, you're right. He is a composer. I was just looking it up because I wasn't familiar with the artist and
Oh,
his
thank
name.
you for
So
fact checking me.
yes.
I appreciate
All
it.
right.
All right, yeah.
Uh,
Oh, and then runner up, W.E. Naoto Skorick.
I've
He is
never heard of
also
it. Who is
he
that?
he's some guy from Seattle.
Eh,
He
yeah.
you know,
Seattle art scene's dead, so it
Seattle,
doesn't
yeah,
matter.
it's dead. It's dead. It's totally dead. He doesn't matter. He's just kind of on, I'm just trying to be nice. Just
I think wherever he is, he's probably appreciative of that comment.
yeah,
Mhm.
he needs some help. He's a sad sack.
Well, thank you
Yeah, no
for
problem.
the previous comment, not the last part.
No, honestly though, I love your work. Your ink work is my favorite. It's
Thank
so
you.
incredible what you can do with ink, and I just love it. So
I need to keep tracking. Yeah. Okay, so our first 4 questions over. Now the mystery question hour. Let's see who just went. You. So no, I did. So it's your turn.
is it
So
me?
we'll do one
Okay.
question at a time.
Yeah, and we both have to answer these.
Yes,
Okay, are you ready?
I am. Yes. Do I answer or do you answer first? I guess
I
I
answer
answer.
for yeah. I'll start my questions. Let's say that I'll start my questions, and you have to answer first,
And then
we'll
back.
switch.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We are making this way more complicated than it needs to.
It's two idiots on Twitter and YouTube and Instagram. You'll find us there. Thank you
There
very
you
much. Okay, question number 1/5.
5, 3,
3,
well,
4. No, because yeah.
no,
Get
those are backups
This is yeah. Okay.
in case we double up on questions.
Yeah.
All right, go.
Yeah. All right. Here we go. How would you describe your work?
I would describe my work as semi realism.
Okay.
I don't think I ever like one of the first pieces that inspired me back when I was a kid was a still life a painting done in realism. I don't remember the artist. It was just like a small piece that was hanging in the art class that I was in. But at that point, it just kind of blew my mind that somebody could physically do something like this
Yeah. Yeah.
and paint that. And since then, my training always kind of relied more on mimicking reality. But I never wanted to get into too much of that realism. So I think semi-realism is a good way to mention it. I don't know if some of the pieces in the back could be seen. None of them are to perfection to say that it is like photorealistic, but I try to go somewhere close to that.
I would say yeah. It's like
Yeah,
contemporary realism and a little surrealism.
realism is definitely, but I think that's my goal. That I'm trying to go into surrealism, but I haven't quite achieved that yet. So I'm gonna make up a new word and call it semi-realism.
I like it. It's good.
Yeah, somewhere in the limbo between reality and
That's the movement we're going to be starting. Semi-realism.
semi-realism.
You heard it here first. Two idiots.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And if anybody says like, "Hey, they have the rights to that title," don't
We
go
recorded
using
it.
that.
It's ours.
As soon as we release this to the world,
Yeah.
it's official. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say that would be the best way to describe it. Also, as a reference, I do a lot of pop culture material as my key source, especially when I'm doing illustration based stuff. But that's temporarily. It's still evolving.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so me, I am probably also a semi-realist trademark. I stuck pretty hard with like just classical realism all through school, and only recently have I been doing stuff like What's Behind Me with a Fire and branching off into more surrealist work. which I think is more at the root of what. That's how I got into art, fine art anyway. Originally was being fascinated by like Salvador Dali. So I think I'm just coming around full circle back to that again. So
it always does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. I think I was kind of kicking a dead horse with some of my work. I was like, I just cannot seem to get like I couldn't get any good following, and my commissions were kind of running down a little bit. Once I was like, I'm just gonna paint what I want. I'm not gonna do commissions for a while and just kind of paint what I want. And then all of a sudden I started having sales again. And I was like, oh, okay. So the trick is you have to listen to your heart. I guess. All right. Fair enough. So
what the heart wants, the rest of the world will accept.
Yes. As long as you're being true to yourself.
Yeah. All right. So my question.
Shoot.
And this one's a tough one.
Oh God.
Real psyche driller. All right. What is your favorite color?
I would have to say black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I prefer the absence of color.
Is black really a color?
Yeah, that's what I don't like
is
color.
White and black really a color? I guess white is. Yeah.
Well, white, I think it's like
it's everything.
It's not. Cool. Black is everything. So I like everything together. White is nothing.
No, is it the other
way around? This got real deep.
Wait, was it a third? No, it's the other way around. Black is the absence of color.
White is. Like if you combine all of your palette, you're gonna get mud,
just black,
which is close. Right. Well, it's gonna be brown, but I mean, if you throw it,
right. No, you were right. Sorry. Okay.
2 idiots.
Okay. 2 idiots.
One is definitely. I
don't know if we decided this name because of how much of a fan we are of the movie Dumb and Dumber.
I think we just are Dumb and Dumber.
I was gonna say one of us definitely is dumber, and the other one's just plain dumb. We'll let the audience decide who that is, and I'm pretty sure we both know who the dumber one is.
I think we do.
The two of us.
I'm pretty sure we do. We'll leave it up to the audience, though.
Okay, so my favorite color is dark green.
Oh.
Forest green.
What draws you to dark green?
I don't know. I always liked staring at nature back in the days. I still do. It's calming. Some people say it's the most ununique color selection. It's like the basic of favorite colors.
Seems like
to that I tell them, screw you. I like green.
Very middle-aged dad of you.
I realize I always wear black, gray, plain jeans and all that, but a lot of my jackets, like sweaters and whatnot, are usually like forest, dark navy green. I don't know. My mug, coincidentally, happens to be this color. Yeah. Which I didn't purchase. It was a gift, and even then, I was like, "Oh my god, that's my favorite color." So yeah,
that's a good friend.
I don't know. It's a really great color. I think I'm always like a medium personality when it comes to. I'm always playing devil's advocate. I always like to never take sides. I'm just always in the middle, and green is just a perfect center of everything in my
neutral
mind. It's very neutral.
Yeah. What was the country that was neutral? What is it?
Yeah, what?
I can't remember.
I remember.
What?
Two idiots. We're gonna make a little sound bit every time we say something dumb. It's gonna just play in the background. Two idiots. Like somebody shouting that at the mountaintop. It's echoing back and forth.
Yeah.
Two idiots.
Yeah.
Okay. My turn.
Okay.
Wait, no, your turn. Your turn.
My turn. Okay. Boxers or briefs?
Oh, boxer briefs.
I am the same. Your turn.
That caught me off guard.
That was my time saver question.
I love that It was a multiple choice, and neither of us were, including you.
Option C.
Okay. All right. What was the first piece you sold? And tell us a little bit about that, like how you felt. What was the circumstance?
God, what was
just a little brief story, if you could remember.
Let me think. I think it was a still life I did of I had a little skull. I still have it. A skull cone incense burner. Okay, it's like a little skull shape that I've had since I was like 19, I think. And also had like a beer bottle in there. It's something else. I can't remember what else, but it was a little like 11 by 14 painting that I did for class, and it was I think I sold it for $75.
Nice.
Yeah. So that was while I was still in school. And yeah.
Back at the academy?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, wow, $75. I mean, that was so big for me. I was totally blown away by that somebody bought a painting from me for one, and then I got $75 for it. So yeah.
How did that make you feel?
Like a million. It made me feel like $75.
You're like, dinner.
Yeah. Back then, I was like,
dinner.
I've got 6 weeks of dinner. Ramen.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, it was incredible. Or it was like, 3 nights of beer. Then
either way is win-win.
Either way is a win-win. Yeah.
Nice. For me, this. So I was back in San Francisco. You were living in Austin. You told me about. I don't remember if it was for East. I feel like it was.
Oh, are you talking about Lopan?
Yes.
Yes. That
was that for East?
That was for East Austin Studio. No, wait. No, that was the cult film art show that I put on.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And you did fucking killer Lopan drawing. Oh man, I wanted it, and then that gal bought it. I was very jealous of that.
Thanks for telling the story, Rodney.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Yep, that's the gist of it, actually.
You go.
Wait, there's 2 pieces I sent you. One was an oil paint.
Yeah, what was the other one?
See, I thought it was the Prim.
Yeah,
Prim. It was Prim. So I did 2 pieces so I was in San Francisco. Rodney asked me if I want to be in the show. It was for a cult, pop culture reference.
Cult film show. Yeah.
So I did 1 piece on Prim from Blade Runners.
That one was awesome too. Oh man,
I just love that character. Like when I watched it when I was a kid, so I wanted to do something, and this came up. I was like, oh, that'd be perfect. So I did. And I started a little mini series where basically you just don't have a frame of a face. Imagine the whole canvas is imagine SpongeBob as a canvas, and you just got your face in the middle. That was kind of the concept, where you just got your eye, nose, and eyeballs, nose, and your lips, and try to convey a character. And I did one for Prim, and I was like, God, this one's really good. I love it. This one surely will sell. And then the other one, I did a charcoal piece, which I think it was like 32 by 24, if I remember correctly. Something large.
Something like I thought it was like 18 by 24. Was it bigger?
Maybe.
Yeah. Either way,
it was a pad, like full large pad size paper. Anyways, and then the other movie that I was really into at that time was Big Trouble in Little China, and Lopan. And if you are familiar with the scene, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you are not, there's the main antagonist named Lopan, and he comes out in 2 different forms: the younger self, and then the mortal old wrinkly self in a wheelchair. And what's the main actor's name?
Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell's like tied up and talking to this guy, and I forgot what he says. Something about like and the dawn, like the what did he say? Like end to mankind comes, or something like I don't know. He says something, And Lopan goes, "Indeed." It's like the most joyful look on this wrinkly old man who's supposed to be like 200, 300 years old. So just wrinkly as hell. And he's got this grin on his face saying the word "indeed." And that's been like a running joke back then.
Yeah, every time I went past that drawing, I could hear your voice doing that in my head. Like, because I had it hanging up right behind me at my job.
Yeah. Oh god, and I love that moment so much. I'm like, I'm gonna draw that. So I drew that in charcoal. It was just supposed to be like an inside joke. Nobody's gonna love it. It's gonna be like sitting collecting dust in my storage down the road. Like, I didn't think it was gonna sell. Sure enough, the one that I really liked, nobody bothered, like nobody cared about it. And like one day Ronnie calls me like, "Your piece sold." I'm like, "Oh, which one?" And like, Lopan. I'm like, "What?"
Yeah.
And apparently the lady that it was showcased at the hair salon Ronnie used to work at, and apparently she really loved. Was it for her or her husband? It was for her.
I think it was for her mainly. She loved it. That was the day of the show. She bought it that day. Like so I was a little
disappointed too because I really liked that piece too.
I loved it, and I was like, yeah. So, but I mean, I think it went to a really good home too.
I think so. I think it was like $75, $50, 75, something like that.
I thought you did 100. I think you did 100.
Did I do 100? Okay. Yeah. Anyways, that was my first piece I ever sold, and that was the very moment I remember asking my friend. I was staying at my friend's house during that time because I was slightly homeless.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, I asked him like, "Oh, I just sold that piece, Lopan." I was like, "Oh, cool. What does that mean?" I'm like, "I think I'm allowed to call myself an artist now since I just sold a piece."
Official.
It's official.
You are
I can officially
artist.
say, "Yep, I am an artist." And that's the long story of the first piece I ever sold. It was supposed to be way shorter, but cool.
I love it, and I already told it anyway. So you drug it on there.
All right.
Okay.
Your question.
My question.
Your question. Your last question, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, is it my last one?
Wait. This is question number 9. Yeah. Yeah. Oh wait. Yeah. You should have asked. You already asked 2 questions. Yeah, you did, because the last one was brief or boxer.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, I got to make this one count.
Yeah, pick a good one.
Okay. What would you do if you won the lottery?
How much?
Make up a number. 28 million.
Ooh, that's okay. Let's see. If it's 28 million, 50% of it I would give that to my family. My mom, my dad, my sister, and my brother. Spread them equally. And no, that's crazy. Sorry. 30%. I'll give that to my 30%. I'll give that to my family. 30%. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think because tax,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Tax wise, you want to leave some for yourself. So yeah, 30% to my family, 20% to my friends that I consider friends. Hint, hint, audience.
Better start listening.
20%. Yep. It will be spread equally among friends. Maybe give a little bit more. Or I don't know if it's good to just give solid cash or ask them what they want and buy that for them, assuming they're not going to ask me something that's going to cost them $1 million.
Just buy a really obnoxious gift.
I'll just give it. I'll just give it.
I bought you the Oscar Mayer Wiener bus. Go give it to Garrick or something.
I'll give them. Yeah, I'll give them because I don't have that many friends. It won't be an issue sharing among them.
Yeah.
So, I'll buy them a really nice. I'll buy them a really nice gift. We'll go on a little trip together, and also I'll give them a bit of a cash, like I don't know, $10,000, $50,000, depending, or the 20%, whatever remainder, I'll spread them across and give them all that cash.
Yeah, that's very nice of you.
And then the remainder will be for myself, which I will buy a really mediocre, like not exactly like cribs level. Actually, like several tiers below that. I already know exactly what kind of house I want. It's nice, but I wouldn't say it's crib level. Although the back pool slash the water fountain will be pretty expensive.
I feel like you
Anyways,
put a lot of thought into this.
I'm sure everybody in their spare time thinks about their dream house. Mine's simple. Mine's really simple. It's a 2-story house with a basement. Not too big. It's meant for, I don't know, a family of 4. You know, second floor is all bedrooms. First floor is your, you know, decent sized living room, dining room, kitchen, and then the middle's cut out where there's a little gardening area slash I don't say patio hangout area, but a big tree growing in the middle, which is a horrible idea, but I thought it would look cool. So, which imagine like a
like
square
out
with
of
a
your, like out of a deck, out of a
yeah,
patio
yeah.
thing?
Like think of like a square. The whole thing is going to be like a square, but the middle area is cut out like a square of it, and there's just a big tree growing out of it.
Okay,
That way, you know, you could do a nice little tree house above, and then the basement is for. Then there are also my studies in the first floor, and the basement's gonna be a mini
music
theater
studio. Okay, yeah,
and a music studio.
Okay.
Both sides.
Good.
Like it's just a little hallway, one room on the other, and then the other room on the other side. And once you go outside from the back, there's a little barbecue area made of bricks and whatnot, and the waterfall in the back, which is connected to the pool that's on the first floor. Now that's just crazy. That's that tax alone.
Plenty of money.
That or a normal house, but with a built-in studio as well as a workable studio space. That's slightly nice. I don't know, something in value of $1 million.
Yes. Yeah.
No, that's too expensive. 700,000
for a house.
Yeah. And ideally,
by the time we win the lottery, everything's gonna be like $1 million anyway.
Well, so. Ideally, the remainder of the money will go into paying the housing tax.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know, because they had to take it.
Dicks.
And that's what I would do with my money.
Very good. I like it. It was extremely detailed.
I didn't think I could talk for something close to 10 minutes about
like,
my
that was 30
lottery
minutes
fantasy.
Of what you want. Yeah, 30 minutes of what I would do with lottery money. And that's all.
Rodney-san, what would you do with your money?
I would immediately pay off all debts.
Right.
And
wait, how much is your lottery by? Well, we said 28 million.
Yeah, we'll say 28 million. So I had to pay off all the debts. I don't know exactly what. I probably have to sit and think about it once I had the money in my pocket and see how Gollum I got about it and be like, my precious. You know. I would give some to my mom and grandmother, I'm sure, and then maybe some to some friends, possibly a few charities here and there. I would definitely get a nice place to live. I don't need flash, but I do need a good art studio.
Yeah.
With a lot of room for a lot of my junk, because I just have tons of stupid junk. It's just like, why do I have 42 pads of paper? Because you never know. That's why. You might need it. Funny thing is, I eventually use all of it, but it might take the better part of a decade, but I'll do it. Yeah. I'd probably buy like a 67 Nova. Super Sport.
67 what?
Nova. Chevy Nova.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Oh yeah, I'll definitely buy a motorcycle. Nighthawk.
Nice. Yeah.
From was it in the 70s? The one I really like.
Travel the world. I would travel a lot.
Nice. Seems like you'll still have plenty of money even after that.
Probably so. I'll just dump it in retirement and then deal with it later.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. My precious.
So we established that I'm the more generous of the two.
Oh yes, I'm quite selfish. Quite selfish and quite introverted. Don't look at me. Stay away from my money.
All right, last question.
Okay.
This one I think is a good one. Why did you decide to start this podcast? I think people should know our agenda behind this, or the scheme behind this series.
We were already doing this anyway, so it's like, why not record it and share it with other people?
Yeah.
Reputation, smeputation. just yeah, just to talk about art. I love talking about art, and you know, the way you and I talk is like we'll go off on stupid tangents all the time. So I think that works really well for the concept of two idiots talking about art.
Yeah.
So yeah, it seemed like a lot of fun. Get to hang out with my bestie and discuss. Yes, exactly. That would be WE Naoto Skorick, and
Yes, please.
also that fellow there, and yeah, and hopefully get to interview artists too. I'm really looking forward to doing that, and you know, talking to other people and seeing, you know, what their experience in the art world is,
Yeah.
and learning more about their works. I'm always fascinated in that and hearing process and history and all of that jazz. So yeah, that's about it.
Fantastic answer.
Thank you. And you, sir.
Me? So, everything you said, basically, we've already been doing this without recording it. So it initially started for me as a way to practice my public speaking. It's kind of the reason why I do other streaming stuff too, is to just kind of better myself talking to other people, because apparently I talk a lot faster. This is me trying to not speak in machine gun voice, or Tasmanian devil, as some people call me, apparently. Yeah, just kind of to conquer that public speaking side of mine, which has been a weakness of mine. I figured this will be a great way to practice that, and also it's just fun. It's just fun for me to do this.
Yeah.
I like talking to Rodney. I like talking about art stuff with Rodney or anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously, as we brainstorm the concept behind two idiots talking about idiot, despite what we said earlier, we have discussed what this is all about.
Sort of.
Yeah, speaking to a lot of different artists, down the road would be so amazing to be interviewing some of those folks. And yeah, that's just there's nothing negative about doing this. It's all just pros, in my opinion. So
Yeah.
figured, why not do it? And
Yeah.
also, I heard the money's really good in the industry of the
in the
podcast.
podcast game? Oh,
The
yeah.
podcast game is everybody's buying Ferraris and whatnot. No, I don't know about that. If it becomes something that will support our art, that'd be fantastic. But honestly, it's more for the pure joy of doing this.
I imagine we'll be making at least like $1 or $2 a year out of this.
If I get a case of Modelo a year, I'll be pretty happy.
Wow, you will be a rich man.
I know.
Yeah.
Suck on that, all those struggling artists. I got a case of Modelo.
Yeah. I paid my electric bill.
But yeah, that's kind of the reason why I chose to do this podcast.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
As you know, it'll become a common theme down the road. It's all for my entertainment, for myself.
Yeah,
you know,
me too.
Yeah. So that's why we're doing this podcast, and that's again, hope that it's good enough for people to jump into this channel or this series and be entertained by it.
Yeah, please don't leave. Please listen to us.
We beg for you.
Please.
We beg for your participant.
Please. I'm begging. Please.
That was so sincere.
But no, really, I'm desperate.
All right. Well,
all right.
That is about it as far as our introduction of ourselves, and kind of brings us to the end of this particular episode, which we wrapped up pretty close to an hour. A little over.
Wow, good job us.
Good job us. I think we just restrained ourselves quite a bit.
Yeah, we really tried to reel in the tangents, but from this point on, it's just open season. We're just gonna go off and talk about nonsense and bullshit the whole time.
Whoever said podcast needs to remain under 2 hours? Scare that.
You're judgmental.
We'll just ramble on for 5.
We'll do what we want.
Screw it, 10 hours. I don't care.
You're not our real dad, so.
Oh man, that'd be awkward if my dad actually listens to this. Like, yes, I am. Actually, I am. Yes,
I am.
All right. Well, that again pretty much covers this episode. Rodney-san, do you want to add anything else?
No, thank you. Just thank you guys for tuning in, and hopefully you won't be completely turned off and might, think about listening to the next one.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for just giving us a listen.
Well, as mentioned, this is our introduction episode, and we do have our official episode 1 coming out the following week.
Yes, so the 7th, I believe. Yeah, March 7th.
So, yes, so if you weren't turned off by us at this point, we hope that you give it a listen when the episode airs.
Hopefully it'll be far more interesting than this one has been.
Hopefully. Well,
no promises, though.
We're pretty interesting ourselves, so I don't know how much more interesting this series could get. I think that was kind of our peak.
Yeah, but I just feel like we're ahead of the game, and not many people are going to get us. Like we're that.
That's true.
We're that new band that not everybody's heard, but only a few people know.
Are you saying we're ahead of the curve?
Basically, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, on that note. I'd like to go on and say our adieus, say our farewells. Once again, thank you so much for joining in and listening to our episode 00 introduction, and we hope that you tune in on our next episode. Until then, have a great day, week, night, whenever you're listening to this. Okay, bye.
Hasta luego.
You're making art, you're talking art. Let's go, go.
Naoto-san, I have a great idea.
Oh, what is it?
The other asked.
Let's do a podcast.
And so it begun. Two idiots talking about art. Two idiots talking about art. Two